Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great today. So we're going to be doing your general reading for the 17th to the 23rd. And I'm going to be doing like I did last week, separating the career and relationship. I'm going to start with career. So if you don't want to know about that, you want to just jump to relationship, check the description box below. I'm going to timestamp it for you for your convenience, okay? But we're going to start by pulling four. First, we're going to pull 4 Halloween Tarot to get some crowning messages for career. Then we'll pull a Norman and we'll do a Celtic cross, sweep that, and then do the same thing for relationship. Okay. Remember, guys, these messages are general. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. If it's not your reading, that's okay. And you want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus sign to get the most holistic message for your week. Okay, so let's start. We have the King of Pumpkins. So pumpkins are pentacles. This is about making some really good decisions, Pisces, when it comes to your career. Solid and practical. Making some solid and practical decisions. Maybe some of you are making some good investments, or just being very well aware of what you need to do regarding something. But I like this because this is an Aries and Taurus energy. So Aries is very confident, it's very brave, and Taurus is that second house of resources. So being very brave, being very much in control of your resources, it does seem. Then we have the Hermit Energy. Some of you may be going it alone. You might be leaving some sort of opportunity that you were working within, or somebody you were working with. But the Hermit Energy is about going within for clarity and a real quest for personal truth, right? Spiritual illumination, and as far as like what it is that you actually want to see yourself doing down the line a little bit, right? Because you guys have had, it is all about money. I've been talking about that with you guys, Pisces. There's been a lot of focus on money for you guys. So maybe you're in this space where it's like, I don't know, do I want to keep doing what I did? Or being very focused on other monies coming in, or through different avenues, maybe through investments, getting into investing, be it in real estate or the stock market or anything like that. But the Hermit Energy does indicate going it alone. So maybe you lost your job, maybe you were furloughed, maybe you were just, voluntarily leaving a situation. And then we have the Moon, and the Moon is about unseen problems and some voluntary changes, though, while you are trusting your intuition. But at the same time, Pisces, the Moon is connected to you guys in tarot. It does rule Cancer in astrology, but in tarot, the Moon energy is a Pisces energy, and you guys are all about the 12th house of the subconscious, of the hidden. So there might be things cooking in your mind right now that you're not really discussing with anyone, or there may be circumstances going on right now regarding money and some sort of situation that you're involved in, either through making money or your career, where you don't have all of the information. The Moon energy can certainly be coming from someone else where you're not sure if you're being given all the information, or you may not be giving all of the information. But whatever it is, I do want to say that you want to make sure, and I always say this, whenever we get anything connected to the Moon, you want to make sure that whatever you're telling yourself is based in fact, and that you're not overreaching. And what I mean by that is, remember, the Moon rules the 4th house, and the 4th house is the house, it's home, it's family, it's roots, it's all that, but it's also the story that we tell ourselves, to ourselves. And there's no one there to check our facts. There's no one there, with an objective viewpoint. So, you want to make sure that you're trying to maintain as much of a realistic perspective regarding something having to do with money or career that you can possibly muster at this point. Okay, and then we have the King of Imps, which is the King of Wands. I like that. We got the King of Pumpkins and the King of Imps. Just very putting yourself out there, making some very bold decisions, being very charming. Now, this could certainly be you, Pisces, or this could be an energy that you're meeting. Somebody's maybe a new boss that you have, or somebody that you are working with for, or it could be you, right? We always say that about the court energies, the king, the queen, the page, the prince, the princess. Court cards could always be you, the querent, which is what we call, or just a general energetic influence or somebody else. So that is what I see here. I mean, we have bookending 2 king energies. So I mean, I have to say, I do like that. This is about being practical, wise, courageous, all of that stuff. Being very sort of trusting your own intuition right now, going something alone. So some of you might be thinking about opening your own business. Some of you guys might be, if it's not your own business, maybe your own lane in something, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm seeing here as the crowning energy for career. I mean, honestly, it looks good. It does look good. Okay, so let's pull some Lenormand. See what we find out from this. A choice, yeah. Needing to make a choice, not surprised. Yeah, it's because in that moon energy is always very introspective, right? So obviously you're lulling something over in your mind regarding career. Yeah, and we have the tree, and the tree is, you know, it's about being very conscious of what you're giving out, what you need for a strong foundation. It very much is also an as above, so below. It's recognizing how important your happiness is, your sense of fulfillment in what you do. And just feeling really, it's very important to you right now to figure out whatever you're trying to decide. What is going to bring you? When I say a firm foundation, that means where you feel grounded and rooted and safe in your career, you know, where you're not worried about things. So now we have the fox looking at that. So there's a questioning going on here. So the fox is about a wolf being in sheep's clothing. It's like a duplicitous energy. It's saying one thing, feeling something else. And you're looking at this ability to be grounded and rooted in that you have to make a decision. So you can be dealing with somebody who's dishonest, Pisces, or you might need to check if you're being 100% honest with yourself, where you're being very realistic in your approach to something regarding career. Now we have the patient woman waiting. So this could be you, Pisces, if you're a female. If you're a male, this could be a partner or a wife or girlfriend. But this doesn't have to be. This could simply be a female in someone's life. If it's not, it could be a wife, a girlfriend, a mother, a sister, a friend. It's somebody who's very patient and just sort of hanging out there. Okay, so we have... Okay, when it comes to career, Pisces, there's somebody that you really need to watch out for, because when we have the fox and the snake. Yeah, I want you to keep in mind they're both I don't know if you could see this, so let me pull this up. They're looking in different directions. They're both the two most duplicitous energies. This is saying one thing and doing another, saying something is going to be one way and it not being that way at all. It's just not. And this is the thing. I feel like you might even be playing games with somebody. What I mean by playing games, playing somebody at their own game is what I mean, right? Because the snake is about, I swear, this is a great deal. You're going to get paid this. These are what your hours are going to be. I swear. This is a great financial opportunity. Oh, I have the money to do this, this, and this. No, it'll be good. I swear. And not being that at all. But see, she is very focused on looking back, and the fox is looking back. Everybody's looking back on this decision that you have to make that's going to incite a strong foundation for you right now. But the snake is looking the other way, and the snake is looking at the moon because the moon works with that now. So this definitely, that has to do with your emotions. The moon is your emotions. And the fact that we got the moon card before, there's something that you either can't trust right now, Pisces, not to be repetitive, or there's something that you need to be a little more realistic with in your approach when it comes to your money decisions right now, your investments, whatever it is. Okay, then we have the patient man. And we have the ruby, which indicates a strong foundation. But see, he's looking the other way. And the moon would be here, right? If we were doing this in a straight line, right? The snake is looking at the moon and the man is looking at his emotions about what's necessary to actually incite some sort of strong foundation. You know, and there is this challenge of grabbing the information. And because here, when we have the guilty cage, it's about you having a choice. This is another choice energy here, right? You have the key. Are you going to keep the cage open and allow the gift of the rose to come out, which would be peace and security and forward movement and everything that you're looking for? Or are you going to shut something down? This could be to bite your nose off, to spite your face kind of thing. Lock it in the cage and end up staying in at least one part of your life having to do with career, staying in some sort of gilded cage, not really ultimately serving yourself. So there might be a situation that you're dealing with right now in business, Pisces, where somebody was trying to negotiate something with you and you weren't giving in, or you didn't want to compromise, or they didn't want to compromise. Like, you know, could have been either way. Yeah, so now it's all about networking, throwing yourself out there, social media, networking events, anything like that. A very wise message is going to come in. You're going to be feeling it either very intuitively, or an elder is going to be sending you a message. But the Alkin is just somebody who's like older and wiser, and if they're not here, they may have crossed over, and you're getting the message in your dream. It's sort of very serendipitously, you feeling something come in. Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely getting a message from the other side. We have 2 cards in a row that indicate that. So keep yourself open. As I always say, pay attention to scents, to temperature, repeating numbers, music that you're hearing, dreams, sudden memories just come flooding back with such incredible clarity. Somebody's trying to tell you something. Somebody's wearing a mask here. There's something you can't trust having to do with career. And this the bridge has to do with signing contracts, meeting somebody halfway. It's going to incite an argument. My goodness, there's a lot going on here, and time is very important. So there's a time element that's going on here for you Pisces, meaning either you feel pressed for time, there's a time limit, there's a deadline for something like that. But I do feel like this is a challenging energy where maybe you were in this space where you had to decide, should I take it, should I not take it? Figuring out what you needed to be, you know, solid, grounded, rooted, what you need for your life. But I see there is absolutely this duplicitous energy, you playing somebody at their own game, there being a little bit of back and forth going on. You may be overestimating a situation or a person. Just make sure you don't take anybody at total face value if they're trying to sell you like waterfront property in the desert type of thing. You know what I mean? Just be careful of the offers that you are going to be getting right now. Not to say that they're bad, but they may not be what they're being initially presented as. You know, and a lot of times that could happen anyway when Mercury's retrograde. And we have, you know, we're going to Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th house. That 8th house has to do with investments. It has to do with the stock market, buying property, all of that. So just be very careful there, okay, for that. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We're going to switch it up. Yeah, this week we'll do a Celtic cross spread. I haven't done this in a few readings. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it, so let's see what we get. Cut the deck. Alrighty. Okay, happening now for you, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. This indicates some sort of false start, some sort of delay, somebody being very unfair to you. This could have to do with rejection, so whether you were rejected from a job, a project was rejected, a lease was rejected, something was rejected, okay? That's the situation right now. What's influencing you for better or worse? We have the High Priestess in the reverse. So the High Priestess in the reverse is having very clouded insight and your intuition not really serving you the best. So that was kind of what I was picking up on before, though, Pisces, as well. Like, make sure you're not overestimating something, saying Something's definitely going to be one way unless you know it for sure. All right, your hopes and your goals. The Hierophant energy here, this is about, well, the Hierophant in the upright is about expectations and conformity, right? So in the reverse, this is about you embracing your own creativity, you having a problem with authority, you having an issue with how things are supposed to kind of roll out for yourself. And you know what? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. This is about you really wanting to be an original something in your career and really embracing your own creativity, your own way of doing something. You don't want to be a sheep following the crowd. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, but there's only going to be an issue with it if you work, for example, for a large corporation or something like that, where you're supposed to follow the rules and that's expected, and you still want to work there. That may be an issue for you. But if you're looking to branch out and do your own thing, I love the Hierophant reverse. I think it's great. I really do. Now, in the recent past, we have the Wheel. So the Wheel is all about a turning point. You reached a turning point, and something in the recent past incited your gumption, your need to take a chance on something, take a gamble. But this is a good fortune energy. It is. So I feel like wherever your mind is, whatever you were taking a chance on, taking a gamble on, it's going to ultimately be good for you, because the Wheel is a Jupiter energy, right? And Jupiter is the great benefic. It's about luck and expansion. It rules Sagittarius, which is about moving forward with integrity. So taking the chance, it being a turning point, you needing to make a decision, and whatever you ended up deciding, ultimately in the long term is going to end up being a good thing for you. Now, beneath this, the history that contributes to the situation, we have the Six of Cups. So Pisces, something to do with your career was making you feel very nostalgic. Maybe you were reconnecting with either an idea or with people from your past. So for some of you, this could be returning to a job that you used to do, meeting up with people you used to work with or maybe you went to school with, and them somehow having some sort of giving some sort of enlightenment to something having to do with your career. But what's good about this is whatever's happening, whatever you're returning to, or whatever you're digging up from the past, which is totally going to happen because Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio. It's all about digging stuff up from the past, is going to end up being a gift. So this is really good. So whatever it is. So maybe some of you guys are, maybe you used to have your own business. You're going back to having your own business, or you're returning to a book that you started writing, or maybe you started designing a curriculum a few years ago and you never got around to finishing it. Whatever it is, there's something to do with the past. It's going to be good. There's a gift in it. So I do like that. And I feel like you're very, very aware of that because there's a creative element to this. You are going to be taking the chance. Just be careful though, right? With that High Priestess reverse. Don't allow yourself to get too clouded where you can't really access your intuition in a healthy way. I mean, a lot of times that just happens because of fear, right? I mean, making big changes is always really scary. I mean, let's call it what it is, right? Let's see what's going on in the near future. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So the Knight of Wands in reverse does indicate like a chaotic energy. This can indicate impulsivity. You know, you just have to be careful of that, okay? You definitely have to be careful of being a little too chaotic, a little too all over the place, too impulsive. You know, don't just take the first thing that's coming or quit something right away, or just be very mindful of the energies that we have right now. A lot of us are going to be pushed. Doesn't matter, you know, what our placements are, because I mean, it's just so powerful. Pushed to the edge of something. So you just want to be very mindful of that. Mindful of any tendency to be chaotic, dealing with the chaotic energy, dealing with any kind of impulsivity. Okay, so be very careful of that. And Pisces, I just want to say something because somebody needs to hear this. So obviously it's not for everybody. But if you are feeling especially attracted to somebody sexually in the workplace, please don't follow through with it. It will not go well for you. It won't go well. So yeah, keep it separate. My father always used to say, never shit where you eat, Jackie. Okay, Dad. Okay. Yeah, all right. Ace of Swords is your attitude and perspective right now. And I'm not surprised, right? It just does seem like you have a lot of new ideas hitting you, a lot of mental clarity. For many of you, there is, along with the clarity, there is a new conflict. Like, okay, I want to open my own business. Okay, the new conflict would be like, okay, how am I going to actually do that with the rest of my life? Or, you know, something of that sort. Now, some of you may be going through all of this with work and taking a little aside, a little time out to have a little procedure done. Okay, maybe you need to get a procedure done at the doctor. I don't see it being like a big deal, and I see it going well, but I see right now that's kind of like what your energies might be focused on. Like, this is going on with work, but you might be taking a time out to take care of something that you need to tend to within your physical health. Okay, so now the opinions of those close to you, we have the Three of Pentacles, and this is all about teamwork and collabing and just really producing some really quality work. You being surrounded by people with a strong skill set. I mean, I like that, especially, it just seems like that's a nurturing, cultivating kind of environment for you, particularly if you're going to go off on your own. You're aligning yourself with really good people. You know, on the one hand. On the other hand, if this is their opinions about you, they see you as somebody who's really focused on building yourself, right? Because this is a Mars and Capricorn energy. It really is having that fighter spirit when it comes to work. So maybe your friends, your family, they look at you and they're like, wow, Pisces is really focused on, you know, redefining themselves or making something happen for themselves when it comes to finances. And we have the Ace of Cups as your, in reverse, as your inner emotions. So the Ace of Cups is, and this is just psychological, there's something that has disappointed you, Pisces, something that you saw, you thought was going to happen in career, as far as something that you have going with how you're making money, and you being let down. And you might even be feeling a little depressed about it or anxious, but there's this level of disappointment. Let's get the final outcome. We have the Hermit Energy. So the Hermit Energy, again, is about going within for clarity, that quest for personal and spiritual illumination. It can also indicate going it alone for a minute, as far as maybe not even a minute, maybe that's the answer for you, is to have your own business, to do your own thing, to branch out on your own, to create something that is just you. Remember, the Hermit is a Virgo energy, and Virgo is the problem solver of the zodiac. They're very pragmatic, they're very practical, and I feel like that is the mindset that you're in right now when it comes to your career, which I think is really, really good. So that is what we have for the career portion of your reading, my Pisces friends. I hope that was helpful in some way. We're going to sweep this and go right into relationship. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the week of the 17th to the 23rd, having to do with relationship. This is if you're single, if you are married, in a long-term relationship, maybe not so long, maybe you're in a weird space. Okay, we have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands indicates some sort of good news coming in, some sort of recognition, Pisces, somebody calling you, you calling somebody else, having that conversation. This could be somebody new, somebody old, it doesn't matter. It's just like this very nice recognition, respectful approach to you that is really does lead to some sort of at least micro success within relationship. And then we have this with the Five of Wands. And now this could certainly just be you. You could just be at this sort of, in this rivalry type of mindset with yourself. As I often find when these two go together, you might be like, I don't know if I should, right? But this is about rivalry. This can be about challenges as well. Battle of the wills, battle of the ego, right? I mean, this is a Saturn and Leo having a really hard time moving forward on something, because Leo's a fire energy. It's all about creativity, romance, falling in love. It has to do with children. So you might be at cross purposes whether you want to have children or not, Pisces. You might be at cross purposes if you even want to fall in love in the first place. You might be at cross purposes having to do with a particular romance, some sort of particular relationship. And you may be like of two minds about it. Like maybe you want to be with them, but there were really good reasons why you shouldn't be with them. And then we got the Temperance energy just popped out on its own. And this is about balance and harmony, being really patient, exercising some self-control, some moderation, and really compromising and listening. There's got to be a lot of listening here about what you need, what the other person needs, and what the situation needs, right? Because every relationship, it's like three entities, if you think about it. And it's a common thing that happens in relationship. It's certainly not uncommon for us to give our partners what we think they may need based on our own desires and our own perspective. However, really the best way to do it is to pay attention to somebody else's needs, even if we don't agree with them 100%, you know what I mean? Like, or if we don't understand them is probably a better way of saying it. But hearing and there being this compromise. Can't be everybody talking just sort of on their own little soapbox, given their beef and their understanding of what's gone on, right? There's got to be a meeting of the minds and a meeting in the middle at some point. Nice. And then we have the star energy. This is about renewal and hope and having a sense of inner clarity. This is like a flat out miracle happening, right? And having faith though in it. And so, you know, you feeling very special in this space, Pisces. You feeling kind of in the spotlight. And remember, the star energy is Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So Uranus rules technology. The message could be coming in through technology. You could be meeting somebody new online, or this could be somebody that you're healing something with, and you guys are getting together to talk about the future, right? Uranus is technology, but it is, again, also the future. So that is what I see here as far as the crowning messages for relationship. Very interesting though, because, you know, with this Five of Imps, considering the other three cards, I'm pretty positive that there is conflict within you. Now, there might be a conflict in the 3D about Battle of the Wills, like, I think things should have been this way. No, they should be this way, and da-da-da-da-da. That kind of thing, that could certainly happen, but I think it would be two things being true at once. I think you're going to be in conflict with yourself, perhaps in addition to some external conflict. But it's a Five of Wands. It's a short-lived energy, and it's really more of like a necessary air clearing, because it's like people, either you or them or both of you or whoever's involved in this, feels like misunderstood. They haven't been heard, you know. So that. Let's pull some Lenormand. Microscope. Something needs to be looked at a little more closely, Pisces. Something is not what it seems on its face. What you're thinking about someone is not the whole story. So you might be making assumptions that are based on your fears or based on something that you experienced with them in the past that maybe it was true of them once upon a time, but it's not true of them anymore. So you want to be careful of board stroking. But in the same way, they have to be careful to not do that to you as well, because you may be presenting yourself as somebody who's hiding something as well. And then we have the snake. So look, I mean, I don't like the snake. There's, you know, I just don't, because the snake is promising that things are going to be one way, and they're not going to be that way. Now, that could be you saying that to somebody, or somebody saying it to you, or the two of you saying it to each other. You know, I mean, that's just simply how it could be. So I always find, though, that the snake energy is always, always, always rooted in, I'm not even going to say malice. It's in some sort, when it comes to relationships, it's some sort of fear, some sort of insecurity and vulnerability that, when is out of balance, can seem like very screwed up and very malicious and all of that. But you got to be careful. But now let's see what the snake is looking at. Yeah. I mean, it's the tree. Tree's all about, you know, rooted, being grounded. What they're giving you out in the 3D is actually, you know, what they're feeling deep down. So it's not to say that somebody is not being honest with you. It's not to say that you're not being honest with them, but there's something that's missing. There's something that's being left out. There's some sort of information that's being left out of the situation here. That's important. That's important. And that if it's not discussed and it doesn't have light shown on it, it can end up being a real issue here. Yeah, and then we have the Book of Knowledge. There's definitely something that needs to be understood that's not very obvious. We have the Venus woman. Okay, we have the Fish, which is about money, and it's about accepting that you have what you have. So Pisces, are you being honest about money? Are they being honest about money with you? Are they being honest about what they want in their life as far as like moving forward to be grounded? You know, are they telling you everything? Right? Because the anchors are all about, you know, clearing out the nonsense so that there could be a really good anchoring. So, you know, to have this snake here just tells me that it's, you know, always to be forewarned, just to be forearmed, right? If you're having a conversation with somebody, Pisces, make sure you are very honest with them and you ask the very pointed questions to see if they're being very honest with you. And when I say honest, I mean with their intentions, of what it is that they actually want with you. Or are they going to, you know, pull you down this horrible path? It's just tough, right? It's just tough to see what's going on with that. But just be mindful of that. Ask all the right questions. Make sure people, you know, walk their talk. Page of Wands just popped out. All right. So this is about a new cycle within your life, having to do with relationships. So that could be you meeting somebody new, brand new, or, you know, that would be more of an ace, but page could indicate a new cycle within a relationship. You know, maybe you guys have been broken up for a minute and you guys get back together, because page doesn't incite that. But there's an ebb and flow in every relationship. I don't care how long you've been together. Those who are together a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. And the best marriages have an ebb and flow, right? Where there are times where you're closer and times where you're a little more distant. So I do feel like, because that guy wanted to pop out kind of on the precipice of this new cycle, this next cycle happening in your life. So let's see what's happening now. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So the Seven of Cups, I like this, I have to tell you. Clarity. The illusion ends. There's a sense of sanity restored with the Seven of Cups in reverse. So that's good. What's influencing you now, for better, for worse, is the Seven of Pentacles in the upright, which is about really being very patient, really understanding that work needs to be put into something. You need to be patient right now, Pisces. Okay, so maybe if you've been, let's say for those of you who are single, you're having a lot of clarity over what it is that you even want and what it is that you need. And you don't even feel the sense of like bitterness or anything like that. You're not even giving that the power anymore. You're just sort of cleaning yourself out. But you understand it's going to be a process. You need to be patient. This is about delayed success. This is about waiting. Really tempering, going back to the tempering the situation. So maybe you guys meet and you can't be together yet. Or maybe you are trying to reconnect with the situation, but maybe because of COVID, maybe you guys don't live near each other. Whatever it is, you guys can't reconnect in the way that you could have at one point. Maybe there were other things going on that may be getting in the way right now. As far as your hopes and your goals, we have the Hierophant reverse. So this can be somebody who, Pisces, it's either you or an energy that you're dealing with. Maybe at the end of the day, they don't want to get married, or they don't want anything like really traditional. They don't want to have to conform to any sort of expectation. They wanted to have a more creative and out of the box kind of experience with you in relationship. Or this could actually, this could be, if none of those things have to be true, this could simply be somebody who really just has a problem with anyone who tries to be authoritative in relationship, where, you know, you could be like this, or you could be dealing with an energy like this, where if you just say, you know, for example, why don't you call me more, kind of thing, okay? So just giving that as an example. Somebody who's in the Hierophant reverse energy be like, why are they trying to control me? What is it? It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they don't want to be with you. But there is this thing that they may need to look at. And, you know, if it's you, you need to look at it. If it's them, they need to look at it. What is it about that? Are you afraid of somebody, afraid of their freedom being taken away, or that they're being made to be a puppet, or they feel like somebody is violating their boundaries, or somebody's overstepping something? Do you know what I mean? So I do sense, right, that this is going on here. Now, because it's a hope and a goal, I feel like you are hoping that some sort of unconventional kind of compromise can be had, at least for the time being. This is not a life reading. This is for a week. So right now, for there to be the ability to have a different approach to relationships, so that you guys could at least work on it for a minute. It does seem like that is what I'm getting from this. And we have the recent past. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So this tells me in the recent past there was some sort of chaotic energy here. One of you or both of you were involved in some sort of sexual excess. There was a lot of impulsivity. Maybe you or your partner acted very impulsively in reaction to something within the relationship. It doesn't have to mean anybody cheated. I'm just giving all of the different interpretations of it. Would definitely be like impulsive, like, I can't do this, something like that, okay? So beneath this, the history that contributes to the situation is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is about retreating and resting and just like recovering, taking a chill out, right? Getting some solitude to figure out where you actually want to go in relationship, right? Because this is a Venus and Libra energy, and it's about really trying to focus on, going forward in something, in some sort of way. Not Venus, I'm sorry. Libra is ruled by Venus. This is a Jupiter in Libra energy. So Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So you're in the space of really trying to figure out, after there was some sort of impulsivity, you went into the space of trying to figure out what is required for you to be happy in a relationship, either in a particular relationship or just in relationship in general. So it's kind of like a taking stock kind of energy, Now in the near future, we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So the Ten of Swords in the reverse is very positive, Pisces. This is a new start. This is recovery. This is forgiveness. It's forgiveness, And this tells me that there was something very toxic about a connection in your life. Even if you're single, this Ten of Swords, this is not from somebody new. Ten of Swords is an older energy. This is from a past relationship, but it's like releasing the last of that like schmutz on your soul from that person's energy that's been creating these energetic blocks that have been preventing you from fully moving forward. Okay, for others of you, this is, if you're going to know which side of the fence you fall on, because you're going to know what your reality is, right, for this particular week. If you are in contact with somebody who maybe you were, once involved with, this is a beautiful energy for healing. There's no question, because this is about there being a real new start and real forgiveness and open conversation so that there can be a healthy moving on. It's leaving the past in the past. What do I always say? Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't put it back in, right? And it's kind of recognizing that, okay? So your attitude and perspective right now, King of Wands. I love this. This is my favorite King card because it's Cancer and Leo. And just what a beautiful energy that is. This is just loving and empathetic and sexy and motivated, but very focused on security and focus on home, focused on being grounded in the relationship. It's a great combination, Cancer Cancer is about being, secure, safe, but Leo is about being passionate and excited. Leo's that 5th house of falling in love, of connecting, of reconnecting. It's beautiful energy for sure. Now, the opinions of those close to you. We have the Knight of Pentacles for the energy of those close to you right now. Very reliable energy. Somebody who's very patient. Somebody who works very hard in their life, Pisces. Somebody who's patient, who's willing to be patient with this situation right now as it is. So there's this understanding, I feel like, that it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Your inner emotions, your hopes and your fear. 2 of Cups, beautiful. Right, okay, your hope is for romantic love and partnership, getting married, proposing something. Maybe if marriage is not your bag, because it might not be, at least not for the moment, moving in together, having a baby, whatever, deepening the commitment in some way. There's this idea of proposal that's surrounded by this idea of love and like a commitment to each other, this kind of commitment. Okay, and then we have the final outcome. We have the Star reverse. So the Star reverse does indicate that you're going to feel, at least temporarily, I'm going to pull a qualifier on this, but there's going to be something about this reconnection that you're going to feel very depressed about. Now, there might be an illness involved in this, Pisces, and I don't mean to scare you by saying that. So we have so many positive energies. So you just might find out maybe there's a little something going on with your health or somebody else's health. But this could have to do with perhaps somebody is having some sort of the Star reverse is also about like impotence, maybe having some sort of sexual dysfunction, something like that, needing to get that addressed. That could definitely be something. But I feel it, but there's like some sort of sadness, depression, somebody not feeling 100% themselves, maybe a little depression, some anxiety, something going on like that. Let me just pull some more cards on that to see. Let me pull from the chakra. Let me see if we get any of the same cards. Because everything looks really good and positive. Then it might be, it's like somebody might have a little something cooking in regard to their health that needs addressing. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so we have the Princess of Cups. So, somebody who's just like very there, very loving. Four of Wands is about, completing a goal, completing something, completing a test, completing some sort of cycle. So there's some sort of cycle that you're completing or that somebody's completing. Beautiful energy. It's a celebratory vibe. Guys, this is like the kind of thing you finish school, so you graduate, or you guys are at that point in the relationship, so you're going to get engaged. You're at that point in the relationship, you're going to get married. But if this has anything to do with health, maybe just, something having to do with like you're putting it into some sort of situation that you've been struggling with regarding depression, regarding anxiety, anything that would negatively impact your health, any sort of, if there's an issue with where there's any kind of sexual dysfunction going on, nothing to be ashamed of ever, but you need to get maybe some help on it. It does look like that's happening here. And then we have the Three of Wands. Okay. So I like this. I mean, this is great. The Three of Wands is about teamwork and working together, being there for each other. So I feel like there might be something that you're going to have to deal with here. Either you might be going through a little something, they might be, but but it has to be acknowledged. It has to be acknowledged. It has to be handled with love. There's beautiful energy. We have the Four of Wands and the Three of Wands after that. Beautiful, beautiful. It really is all about really starting a new path within this connection. That is what I see. So really nice for those of you looking to reconnect with somebody. I have to tell you, those of you who don't want to reconnect, as I've been saying, you have to understand tarot, even astrology to a certain degree. Astrology is a little more specific, but it's like the weather. So those of us who are readers, it's like we're weather people. And if it's raining out, are we telling you have to go out in the rain? No, don't go out if you don't want to. You're an energetic human being. I'm not saying that you have to get back with anyone. All right, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the energies do indicate to me that if worked properly by both parties, this is what's possible. Something I feel like, though, needs to be worked out. I think that's a very specific message, but having to do either with any of those sixth house energies, emotional, mental, physical, health. Okay. And that's what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.